It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Welcome back, everybody, to Party Chat Sports. We got the entire crew here with us this evening recording. This is mostly going to be an NFL episode, as Dylan, he is finally on the pod repping his Party Chat Sports shirt. Drew and I were wearing ours last week. I think we were wearing ours. Cam is still yet to wear his, but he's being a little pitty, which can't really say I blame him for some of the pittiness because of some... Petty, thank you. Pity. Wrong words.
Good start.
Absolutely fire start on my end. I'm Gil Gill. We got Drew Nelson. We got Dylan Schroeder. And, of course, like I mentioned, we got Cam Braun, who is being petty. Yes, I got that word right this time. Because of what Drew said at the end of yesterday's episode, announcing that he is his new allegiance to the team up north. And it just feels like a WWE, like when you kind of like turn your back on, like you've been, you know, the star, you've been like, you know, the good guy, and then you go heel. That's kind of what it feels like, Drew. And we're not going to spend a lot of time.
It was like
on
me
this
and
at all.
Cam were a tag team, and we were fighting another tag team, and I hit him in the back of the head with a chair and let the other team pin him, and I walked off and then joined the other group.
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, I can see
He's already
I
gone.
can see where the feelings come from.
Cam,
He's
come
already
back.
gone.
Come back.
I'm not doing a podcast with them anymore.
This
I
is
quit.
crazy.
Anymore.
On the pod? No, get your ass back here. Look, we're going to do this together.
And now
because
we're explicit.
I'm not going to do it with him.
ass
I'm
is
not
a good
talking
word.
now.
You can say ass on radio.
You're only
And
talking to
Mikey
us.
B
He's
and-
just here. He's not here. You're just talking to me and Gil. It's okay.
Yep,
I can
we're
see
just-
him.
It's okay.
That's him.
Sit down. It's
okay.
That's
okay. You'll be
I
okay,
know
buddy.
that beard from anywhere.
Look, his shirt says state on it. Just go with it.
Yeah, there you go. It's red.
Shut up. Go ahead.
By the way, it took
Continue.
about 2 minutes before Cam did speak through. So
That's a lot.
I was clocking
Not
that
anymore. Not
I feel like
anymore.
that's.
Not
I feel like
said
that
you weren't
was
gonna
the
talk to
under
him at all.
though. That was the under.
No,
And
not anymore.
It
Not
was.
anymore.
It probably was the under.
No,
right,
I'm
well-
definitely giving at least 3 or 4 mess ups. So we're gonna go with
no,
2.5.
no, that's not how it works.
There's your bets.
Anyways,
there's one.
Anyways,
All right, we're already
yeah,
getting off track.
Yeah, big news though.
Did
Drew is a Michigan fan now. I think that's just
What?
we're just gonna
Well,
say that.
Yeah,
given
that's fine.
given the major news today, Drew is one step closer to being a Michigan fan. Why don't we transition into
What?
that news real quick, being that it is
yeah.
breaking?
How much do we want to talk about that news? Because I
wait,
know I would like to
Wait.
get.
Shh.
So
What?
we're on your time.
Loyal 40, get her out of here. Get
That's rich.
Bye.
Gil?
Bye.
Hold
Bye.
on. Gil?
Bye.
Gil?
No.
Let's
No.
see if you're let's see if you're
mute this
bestie.
man. Mute this man.
Nah.
It's over. It's over. Mute him.
I
That's
learned
very
early-
49ers
I learned
fan.
with my parents
Hilarious.
not to get in the middle of these type of things, so
That's
we are
crazy.
not getting in the middle of that one.
That's crazy. Anyways, why don't we make that healthy transition here to the big news of
Yeah.
the day, which we're going to be a day late posting this, but Jim Harbaugh signing with the Chargers. I hear it's a 5-year deal. He turned down a contract that would have made him the highest paid college football coach to stay at Drew's new favorite college football team, the Michigan Wolverines, to jump to the NFL after teasing it for about 3 years now. 2 years ago was in major talks with Minnesota. last year in major talks with Denver. Now he makes the jump, finally returns to the NFL, and Jay Herbo has been freed. He's going to go crazy. That's what I feel.
That I love that for Herbert specifically. It makes a lot of sense. The second that job opened up, Harbaugh just kept getting connected to it, and sometimes when the stars align like that, they align. And good move for both sides. They're still interviewing general managers, so we'll see how that transition goes, because that's part of the reason the general manager issue is why he went from San Francisco to Michigan in the first place, was he didn't get along with Trent Baalke. He had issues with the current or the former GM, I should say, of the 49ers, now the Jaguars. And as long as him and whoever gets hired as general manager are on the right page, this should be a good relationship and should be a good fit for Herbert, Chargers, Harbaugh, everybody involved. I'm excited about that one.
It seems so obvious. I mean,
sometimes things are just...
It did.
The whole time, as soon as the Chargers job was open, it kind of felt like that's probably where Harbaugh would want to go. And sure enough. Thanks for giving us the tour there.
I just wanted, I got a lot of hate for that Cincinnati sign in the background for all them times, so I wanted to show off the football helmet and the signed football back there. So that's all.
That?
I don't know. It's like it's a weird nobody from the 90s. It's number 31 though. I think it was a cornerback like Curtis Hagan or something. Hogan. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I googled it once, but I got it. I also have a Joey Porter signed football in storage at the moment.
Why is it in storage?
Pretty cool. Yeah.
I feel like I'd swap that out.
How we put that out on display? Unless you plan on moving.
It didn't fit. I will move eventually.
I'd almost swap the JPJ one.
Yeah.
With one
it's
of
not
the
JPJ. It's just JP. It's not JPJ, unfortunately.
Oh. Okay.
Did you say JPJ though?
I thought he said
no.
Junior.
Yeah, he definitely did.
No, he did not.
Run it back. Rewind the video. I did not say it, but it's fine.
Anyways.
All right. Move on.
Harbaugh. We'll see if we can get Kate on at some point to discuss what that means for Michigan, because I'd like to see Kate's perspective on that.
Michigan is going back, not to just spend all this time on college football, but they got to be going back to the bottom, right? I mean, their roster is about to get torn apart. They no longer have a head coach.
Yeah. We'll see how much the roster does take a hit, because I think if they keep Sharon Moore, that's going to help keep a lot of the players that haven't already declared and left already. Which I don't know if any of them have already left. If any of them left for anything.
Anybody who can declare should declare right now.
You can't declare anymore. You can't declare anymore for the draft. That deadline's already passed. That was like last week. So
timing.
Donovan Edwards, he's going to be back, and I'd imagine the rest or a lot of that roster is going to be there if Sharon Moore's still there. But
or GQB1.
They have. Yes, sir. RG3.
No, they have a new 4-star coming in. That's
so
apparently better than Aaron Noland. They have
so what? Bro's never played a snap of college ball yet. Those stars mean nothing.
All right. Well, the title of this episode is not going to be a college-related title. It's the divisional round is why we're really all here today. But we did have a couple things that we needed to mention here in the first 10 minutes or so of the pod. So glad we got that out of the way early. Let's talk about the division round of the NFL playoffs. And a lot of these games were very similar, where they were all slow first halves for the most part. And then the second half, it seemed like they picked up. Or this first game, it was tied at halftime. Pretty sure it was tied at halftime, 10 apiece. And then the Ravens just bulldozed the Texans. And we're really seeing that this Ravens defense is phenomenal. They made C.J. Stroud not look great. And it's one thing to say, yeah, the rookie didn't look good. but look at everybody else that has not looked good against this Ravens defense throughout the year. Like Jared Goff, who is playing also this weekend, did not look good. This Ravens defense is here, and
You know who did look good?
Deshaun Watson.
That's crazy. Did he win?
Mason
He did.
Rudolph.
He did. I think he won in
Mason
Baltimore.
Rudolph. Mason Rudolph.
But
Am I
let's
going
get
crazy?
things started off.
I
You
might
look
be.
like
He's
it.
got the Tomlin eyes.
You're gonna have to put a warning on the video right there. Scary.
That's the
That
thumbnail
hurts.
right there.
Kenny Pickett
When you
looked good
ha-
against the Ravens with 2 minutes left when he threw a 45-yard touchdown to Pickens. That looked pretty good to me. F the Ravens, bro. I hate them.
Who's breathing
Sorry.
right into the mic?
Dylan, move it away.
Me. It's
Thank
me.
you.
Sorry.
It's so loud.
I'm hijacking the video right now.
Still,
I think the most impressive part about the Ravens is the Texans came out and blitzed way more often than they had all season. And so that's
80%.
probably why you saw the tied score at the beginning. Not a whole lot of offense from the Ravens because they were prepared for a team who blitzes less than what they actually got. And so you get into halftime, you make some adjustments. That was all she wrote. So that's what a good team does. You change, believe it or not. So
what's that?
I couldn't tell you.
It was interesting, and Lamar Jackson's one of those quarterbacks where I really don't think it's smart to blitz, but also, what can you do against him? If he's going to
They
beat you
tried
through
something.
the air or the ground, I mean, kind of pick your poison and just kind of die with that.
Let him throw it. That's how you
You
stop him.
can't fault them for trying to switch it up. The Texans were playing on, house money essentially. So
Yeah.
tried something.
You
It
gotta
worked
make him
for
beat
a
you from the
half.
pocket.
Didn't work the second half. So good run, Texans. Dylan, go watch Dylan's video on the Texans. We all think they're going to be good for a long time.
We
so
do.
Yeah, definitely go
Please
watch
go
that.
watch it.
they'll be back.
Please.
Party Chat Sports YouTube. Apparently, we don't have that many Texans fans, so that's
Nah.
kind of...
I don't think there's many Texans fans in the world.
There's 4 people in this room and only 3 of them watched it. That's crazy to me, but it's fine. I know.
What?
I know who. Anyway.
Do you?
Yeah, no, I think the Texans, obviously, I ranted on it for about 12 minutes that they're going to be around for a long time. I think they've joined that group, and we'll talk about it all off season, 2024, who's going to be there. You're always going to talk about the Chiefs. You're always going to talk about the Bengals and the Bills as long as they have those quarterbacks. And I think now you're always going to talk about the Texans for at least the next handful of years. I think they've made that jump. They're in that group. And as I said in my video, those are 4 teams in 4 different divisions that are all going to be up there. And I didn't even mention the Ravens and some other AFC teams that, are floating towards the top. The AFC is going to be so jam-packed for the next 5 to 10 years. It's crazy. And you look over at the NFC and it's not nearly as log-jammed as what the AFC's got going on right now. So exciting time to be a Houston Texans fan. If that exists. If you're not a Houston Texans fan, you might want to join them right now. That might be a good time to get into the ground level there.
It's the perfect time for switching up.
You can just claim a player like you're a Ohio State fan and be like, I like CJ Stroud, and just be a Texans fan or a 49ers fan, I guess. But it's a good time to join, and Texans are good. Could have beat the Ravens in their house, but they let that game slip away there at the end, and then the Ravens offense.
Experience versus rookies is what happened at that game.
Mm-hmm.
They ran into a buzzsaw.
My one thing I will say that could be concerning about the Texans is if they lose Bobby Sloan. Because then CJ Stroud is going to have his 3rd different offensive play caller in the last 3 years. And the offseason between your first and second year, I think, is one of the most critical off seasons for a quarterback, or really any player in the NFL, because you go from prepping for the combine, prepping for the draft, to then heading into your second year, that off season between years 1 and 2, you're really just grinding out the playbook. You're grinding out actually playing your position and practicing that position in the off season. So that'd be my one concern is if CJ Stroud is going to have another play caller this year. But if Bobby Slowick is back, which it's probably 50-50, depending on what happens with there's 4 jobs left.
Kind of seems like he's going to stay.
I think he's going to
scored 45 in a playoff game. He's going to get looked at next year if he can do it again.
It feels like one of them Brian Johnson. Did I get it right this time?
Ben Johnson.
Dang, man. I said Brad last time. Feels like one of those situations where really good first year, young team, building up that roster. He kind of feels like maybe he sticks around another year before then he really gets some major interest. I know he's going to have a second interview with the Falcons, I think. Had an in-person interview with the Commanders.
We talking about Johnson or Slowick?
Slowick is who I'm talking about right now. But I don't think he'll make that move right now. Again, pretty young dude, only the one season as the OC. Probably wants to build up his resume a little bit, wait for a little bit better of an opportunity of a head coaching spot, not being the Commanders or the Falcons maybe. I don't know. I just echoed
Commanders
somewhere.
Might be a good spot right now with the new ownership. Might be underrated.
Potentially. It's
Magic
just the roster's
Johnson?
not there.
I would trust him.
Yeah.
Well, Magic Johnson doesn't really... I don't know what Magic Johnson really does in that or that team, but I would definitely take being the Commanders head coach over the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers got to be the least desirable spot on the planet right now.
Yeah,
you got to sell Brian Burns.
They got to pretty much blow it up.
Very off topic. That's very off topic. Let's get back on topic.
Yeah, well, we got plenty of time to talk about that stuff. But.
Yeah. And we'll see. Does anybody have anything else to add to this text?
Nope.
I'll take it as a no. All right, this next game was also no, it was not tied. It was essentially tied heading into halftime, and then the second half was like where all the movement really started, where things started clicking for both sides. I'm going to let you guys go before I say some stuff, because I know y'all are going to disagree with me on a certain quarterback that played in this game, and I'm going to let you guys go first.
Let me open this up. So it's the 49ers, the Packers. This is a great, fantastic, career-defining game for Brock Purdy. You lose Debo. You're in California. You're playing on grass. It's slippery. It's a downpour. You're trying different stuff. And you somehow still manage to get a game-winning drive to lead your team to the NFC Championship.
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean somehow still manage at home against the 7 seed, bro?
Do you understand how important Debo is to that team? They run the offense around Debo, and he did that without Debo Samuel. In the downpour,
they run the offense around Christian McCaffrey.
I know you have played football, and I know you have thrown a wet football, and when it's a torrential downpour, as in you probably can't even see the greatest, and you're kind of throwing and praying.
Bro, it was just normal rain.
No, it was not.
Honestly,
if you look at it...
It rained early on, but then, like, fourth quarter, I'm the biggest Purdy supporter in this group chat. And this, but fourth quarter, it was no longer raining, it was just wet.
And he led a game-winning drive. He did a great job. 49ers kind of just... It was a really good game, back and forth. Both teams missed a kick. Drew, there's a Jake Moody, Michigan kicker, missed a playoff kick. Almost cost his team. There you go. That's what you're going into. Congratulations.
Bro is literally not a 49ers fan. That's fine.
No, Jake Moody, Michigan fan. Unless,
he's
not
claiming. He's not claiming any of that.
Anything from 2024 after.
He is claiming still some of the playoffs, or it's not the playoffs. The players that the Buckeyes have right now. But we'll get back on topic. It was a great game for the 49ers. They finished the game Jordan Love had a chance. Ball was slippery. Bad throws, bad accuracy. Good
Bro,
job,
Jordan Love
49ers.
thought he was Brett Favre.
Please.
He thought he
He
was.
was Brett Favre for a second.
Why are the
He was.
Vikings getting cooked for that playoff game? We had nothing to do with that.
Just it was too perfect
was-
of a play to not
Imagine-
just instantly be like, "Dang, bro is actually Brett Favre." Like,
and it doesn't help.
who was he
that Brett
throwing
Favre,
to?
Brett
49ers.
Favre actually had somebody that
defense.
came out of nowhere. Watson,
See,
it was Watson, was double covered. So
That's just what happens, though. Purdy throws the ball twice to the defense, and they decide they can't catch anymore, even though they had 2 interceptions last week.
People just forget
But
that.
this week, it hits him in the chest and has a pick six, but he drops it. Another one in the end zone, I think, unless I'm thinking of something else. I'm pretty sure that's what the second one was. Either way, drop. That might have been the Ravens game. Either way, there was another opportunity. So this Purdy hype is it's getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand. Like, I will give you that. Yes, it's impressive for Mr. Irrelevant to be starting on a good team. Obviously, the NFC favorite in both of his years starting. Well, they probably weren't technically the favorites last year, but anyways, still made the championship game. It's getting out of hand, though. It's getting out of hand. Like, and unfortunately, there's not going to be a way to prove anyone right, whether you think he's really good or whether you think he's really bad. No one's going to know because he's going to be on the 49ers for a long time. And unless something happens to the 49ers, they're always going to be stacked, and maybe they get into some cap issue problems and have to let people go, or people just randomly retire. But either way, if he's in that system with those players, you're never going to know whether it's actually him or whether it's actually the system. A little hint was Sam Darnold put up similar EPA per play numbers when he took over.
I was going to say that. I was going to say it, so it's okay. I was going to talk about it.
But
I was going to talk about it.
But anyways, if you ignore that part, 49ers won. Packers probably should have won. I wish both teams could lose, and it's a bummer. Just reusing the same script of Packers beat Cowboys, 49ers beat Packers over and over again.
yeah, but then
Every
just
year.
turned the Lions for the first time in 31 years.
Yeah. Can't make the whole thing reused. Got to have some new piece.
Worst football year ever.
I just want to put it out there that Brock Purdy led. He was top 4 in yards after catch this season, with over 2,000 yards after catch. Yards after catch per completion, he led the league in yards after catch per completion. So, you'll watch a Brock Purdy highlight video, and it's just routinely wide open receivers catching the ball.
Isn't he number 4 in air yards?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's like
giving
top 5 in air yards, though.
I mean,
And,
if you're gonna pull out a
That's one
stat,
of the
you gotta,
best percentages. Yo, help me out here because I know you know what I'm talking about. I don't have a laptop in front of me. I'm
if you're gonna bring up
95% sure
stats,
he's
man,
top
you gotta.
5. Gil, start
Yeah,
time.
so you throw it 20 yards down the field to wide open Ayuk.
Yeah,
Oh, are you
wide
mad
open
that happened to you
Kittle
3 or
or
4
wide
times?
open
In the
Relax.
same
CMC,
game?
It's my
I
time.
remember
Takes
it
my
only
time.
happened
away.
once in our game, and we beat
This is
them.
my time. This is my time. All right. As I was going to get to, Brock Purdy has had good plays. I'm not going to take that away from him. Like, he has been playing well in the sense of having good pocket presence. He's had some plays where he's extended the play, gotten away from some pass rush, and then hits the wide open receiver downfield. There was literally a highlight video I saw today of Brock Purdy's season highlights, and one of them was he rolled out to the left, and he had so much time. When he threw it to Christian McCaffrey fell down at the 10-yard line, got back up, and then still ran untouched into the end zone. Like, the there's also a stat where the amount of receiver separation from their nearest defender, the 49ers were first in that category. So I believe multiple things can be true, like Gil had mentioned kind of yesterday. Purdy can be a product of his system because he is. Purdy has the best weapons in the league because he does. The O-line isn't even that garbage. They have an all-pro perennial left tackle. Purdy can play well, given the beautiful system and the weapons that he has. I mean, that's allowed to be said. If he did not play well, he would be getting flamed, and rightfully so, because he is in a system where he should excel. So I just think, like Drew mentioned, the hype is way out of hand. Praising this guy like he's a second coming is just shouldn't be happening. You take any other quarterback in the league and throw them in that system, and they're going to have a pretty good amount of success as well. So I just think there's something to be said about that. And before I get on to rambling, I think I'm just going to end it right there. Open it up to you, Gil.
So I'm a big believer that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. You guys are taking the side that everybody is taking the Purdy hype too far. I'm going to take the side that everybody's taking the Purdy hate too far. Because for every Purdy lover, there's a Purdy hater. And the Purdy doesn't elevate his teammates. Purdy is in a perfect situation, which for him, he is. I'm still very impressed with how he's performing. The last drive of that Packers game was beautiful to watch. And I said to you guys, I'd rewatch that drive. He got maybe 15 yards of total yak. The only yak he was getting on that drive was he had like 2 dump offs that on like first or second and 10, and they went for maybe 5 yards. Didn't even get a first down on those. Most of his plays. What's that?
That said, the hate doesn't need to be there.
Can I interject real quick?
What's up?
I just fact-checked Cam's statement. Purdy was 9th in intended air yards per attempt.
Okay, top 10. So, not top 5.
Top 10, that's barely
Top 10
that's
is
league
good.
average. It's league average territory.
When you have Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, when you have Christian McCaffrey.
When
you're throwing 40-yard wheel routes to him sometimes.
No, sometimes, but sometimes you're gonna have to check downs. And you gotta take check downs if it makes sense.
Sorry, back to you, Gil. Back to you.
You know, the check down merchant, his yards per attempt is first in the league at 9.6 yards per attempt. His deep ball completion percentage is first in the league at 55.3%. I've never seen this one before, but I'm going to use it because I can. Deep ball catchable rate percentage. Never heard of that one before, but you know what? That helps my case. He's first in that as well.
Deep ball catchable rate because all the wide receivers, he's throwing to down there are wide open, so they're catchable balls.
And then pressure completion, or like completion under pressure. He's
Wait
fourth.
a minute. Can we pause real quick? Wasn't Calvin Austin wide open on a deep ball? So why didn't Trubisky, or was it Rudolph?
You just listed 2 quarterbacks I do not care about.
I'm pretty sure it was Trubisky.
Cool. He's terrible.
Go ahead, move forward.
Awful. Why even bring his name up? Just gonna piss me off.
Because you still have to have a good deep ball to actually throw them. Do you not remember the 4th and 2?
And Trubisky does not have one of those. Also, if you're talking about that 4th and 2 play, Deontay Johnson was double covered and Trubisky threw that ball. So, completely irrelevant.
Go ahead.
Irrelevant. Sorry.
His Purdy's completion percentage when he's pressured is 4th in the league at 63%, so he's still able to complete under pressure too, which, I mean, he was under pressure on that last drive a lot. I love the way Purdy finished the game because it's one thing to play poorly throughout most of the game, and, I mean, if you play poorly, you just a lot of quarterbacks tend to crumble. But like I said last week, there's something about that killer mentality that, like C.J. Stroud, I mentioned, he had that killer mentality. Brock Purdy got almost Brock Purdy, we haven't seen that in the playoffs where it actually matters pounds.
You're right.
Brock Purdy has that killer mentality as well. Like I was saying, that last drive, they were dot after dot after dot. He was almost like when you play quarterback, you kind of have to have that memory of a goldfish. In the 5-second memory, you just kind of forget about it. And he
Where's
proved he
Lasso?
did. I'm glad somebody noticed that. Yeah,
Sorry, I wasn't
like
paying attention.
like I told you guys, multiple things can be true at once. Purdy played bad, but he finished fantastic. And he is the right quarterback for this team. He knows, yeah, a lot of times guys get open. But watching that game, he was throwing into spots where guys weren't open or like wide open. And he was still putting the ball right where it needed to be. And there was a few throws. He had the one to Ray J. Jennings? Ray McLeod was a little off target. That looked like some miscommunication. Yes, Dylan.
How much would you pay Brock Purdy per year once his contract comes up, which I believe is in another after next year you can extend him.
Yeah. What's Daniel Jones getting paid? I think that's a fair spot.
$40 million.
I think Daniel Jones' money is a fair starting point.
If you are a quarterback of starting caliber, you should. Daniel Jones is the floor.
Yeah, but what's the highest quarterback getting paid per year?
Hold on. Let me bring all this up.
It's about to be Dak. Whether
It
you
is.
like it or not. He's about to get like 55.
Right. Joe Burrow's at 55. He's number one. Herbert is at 52.5. Lamar's at 52. Jalen Hurts is at 51. Russell Wilson's at 49. Kyler Murray at 46.1. Deshaun Watson at 46. Patrick Mahomes at 45, which reading this list feels like a steal. Josh Allen at 43. Stafford and Prescott and Daniel Jones all at 40.
I pay him north of 40. Yeah, that starting quarterback is anything north of 40.
That would be a top 10 in pay, and I believe once you do that, Brock Purdy never has success like he is right now ever again because the team around him will crumble because the 49ers will run out of money.
Maybe, but he's in his second year, so he's only going to get better, in my opinion. The progression, he's gotten better between year 1 and year 2. Last offseason, he didn't even really have an offseason.
So his third year?
Because he's going...
year 2.
Second year starting.
No, year 2.
Didn't he get drafted with Lance?
No, he got drafted with Kenny.
He was a rookie last year.
He was a 2020 guy.
Gotcha.
Last year, he didn't even really have an offseason because he was dealing with an elbow injury. So
I would give him between 30 and 40. That's going to put him in the ballpark of guys like Ryan Tannehill, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, and Aaron Rodgers. That's what I would give him.
Yeah, but as a salary cap,
either
cap's just going to
whether you care, whether you think he's a top paid quarterback or not, just the state of the quarterback salary market is that he will fetch top QB pay.
If he wins a Super Bowl this year,
you want him to or not. There's plenty of people that don't think Dak is a top 10 quarterback, and he's going to get $50 million at least.
Yeah, but
and that's
let's
just
be
the way
realistic.
it goes.
Let's just be realistic about that. He is, I think. But
thank you.
I mean, like he's going to be a guy like when Derek Carr got a contract. He did not get number one highest paid quarterback in the league money. You know, I think he got like around top 10 at the time, which now puts him in the top 20 in that $30 million range. I guess he's 37.
We'll see how negotiations go when Purdy's deal is up or when they can start negotiating, because obviously the agent's going to get him the most for his money, but
I imagine that it'll be kind of ironic because the negotiation will probably play out a lot like the conversations we have about Purdy. The 49ers are going to say, yeah, you were able to have this success because you were taking $900,000 or whatever he's earning now, and we gave you all these guys around you, so we're going to give you less money so we can continue to build a roster around you. And then Purdy's going to be like, well, hold on a second. You know, it was me doing this, that, the third, whatever. putting up these stats, going into the NFC Championship 2 years in a row. As soon as he gets hurt, they lose last year. So it's going to be the same conversation, just in the 49ers.
He has not lost a
when they're trying to
playoff
make
game that
deal.
he's finished or been completely healthy and played all the way through.
Here's some quarterback names that are making more than Brock Purdy right now. Ben DiNucci, Jake Fromm,
That's
Logan
rightful.
Woodside, Tanner McKee,
Toledo legend,
Nathan Peterman, Stetson Bennett, who has been on a away from football list all year, is making more than him right now. It's Sean Clifford, Tanner McKee, just a bunch of names that have not sniffed the field. So I don't know. I think if you take some of those names and put them in the 49ers offense, do they do as well? No, I don't think so. If you take Derek Carr and put him in the 49ers offense, he probably earns top 5 money in the league because he'll put up a bajillion.
I don't know
yards.
about Derek Carr, but
it was just first name that popped in my head. But like that range,
Derek Carr's crazy talk.
Listen,
Derek Carr was good once upon a time before he tore his ACL, and then he's
back. You put Kirk Cousins in the 49ers offense,
Kirk Cousins was top 5 in every stat when he was
Kirk Cousins would win the Super Bowl every year on the 49ers.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
He would be better than Brady. No comparison. Better than Brady. Him and Shanahan went 8.
Anyways, that's your second lifetime Cousins over Brady take, and you're only limited to 3 in your entire life.
Speaking of Brady, 49ers try to get Brady. Told Purdy he's going to sit if they got Brady. That was interesting. Obviously, but
and Purdy seemed fine from the reports. It's like, sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you told me Tom Brady was coming to take my job at work, I'd be like, all right, I guess. I mean, it makes sense to me.
You'll sit and learn, right? You'll learn from the best.
Yeah.
You'll take a year off.
And that's
look at Mahomes. I just got to sit a year and just
and
make my money afterwards.
I also said this into the chat. I hate comparing guys, especially to this extreme, but it's not like Tom Brady was all that great when he started. He had an elite team around him, especially on defense. The defense that they had in those early 2000s when they were making 3 straight Super Bowls, it's not like Tom Brady was amazing. And then he got better throughout his career. So it's fine if Brock Purdy is being carried a little bit right now. It's only his second year. He should not be in this spot to begin with, seeing as he was the last pick in the draft. But he continues to overcome odds. He has not lost a playoff game that he has started and finished and been healthy through. The only one he's lost, he couldn't even throw the ball because he's
still lost.
Still lost. I will give you that.
Big Ben had a very similar arc as well. Big Ben as a rookie went 15-1 and he sucked. So there is.
It's fine to not be great if you're into your second year. Like the expectations that it's kind of ridiculous. And even though, I mean, he's not the best quarterback in the league by any means, but still, the 49ers are the first team in NFL history to have a running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, each have over 1,000 all-purpose yards. And say what you want about, they have the Avengers or whatever. Somebody's got to get them the ball. And when you have 2 wide receivers with over 1,000, you have a running back with 2,000 all-purpose, and a tight end with over 1,000, someone's getting the ball to these players, and it's not like they are wide-ass open every single play. Yes, they do tend to get open, maybe more so than others, but
they do.
Someone's still got to get them the ball, and
accurately.
Yeah, the Sam Darnold thing, whatever. Sam Darnold was also, it was a preseason game, essentially, when Sam Darnold was playing, so I'm not going to put a lot of stock into that Week 18 game with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't have the Avengers around him. Rams were playing for something. Rams were playing to get into the playoffs, right?
No, they were
clinched.
They already clinched?
They were clinched, yeah.
But he didn't have the Avengers around him, and he still put up numbers, too. I don't know.
He put up 100. He didn't even put up 200 yards.
Yeah, but his rating was near 100. Like, he didn't have that many pass attempts.
16 for 26.
That's like perfect game manager. Congratulations. You didn't put up numbers.
That's what Brock Purdy is. He's a game manager. Perfect.
So what's the problem with that? A game manager won 7 Super Bowls.
So I ain't even going to waste my time.
They're saying the problem
Here we go,
is
Cam.
that
now you're
Brock
speaking
Purdy
my language.
Is I do agree with Tom Brady thing. Their issue, Cam, is that
Y'all never
people tend
watched
to
a
put
single
Brock
one of
Purdy-
those games in your life. I guarantee it. You never watched. Sorry.
Their issue
think
is
I don't
people
have
that are put.
YouTube?
God damn it.
It's called NFL.
Stop cutting this man off.
there's
Let
this
him
thing called
finish.
there's this thing called NFL Films where I can watch it.
Yeah, but I know you haven't.
You know,
You don't know ball. Gil.
I don't know
finish-
ball.
Gil, finish your statement, please.
He won a Super Bowl 13 to. It was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
13 to 3.
exactly.
13
Exactly.
to 3 against the Rams.
Tell him. Game manager carried. Anyways, that can
All right.
that can be another topic.
Dang,
point-
let's see
point.
Kirk Evans.
Bro, that was in an era where defense won championships, if we're being honest.
No, it was not. It was. No,
It was
hold
like
on.
Early
6 years
2000s?
ago
Early 2000s.
against the Jared Goff Rams.
It was
wow.
after the
I
Patriots
didn't
and the
watch
Eagles,
that.
you idiot. 41 to, 35? What are you talking about? The Philly special happened the year before. Fuck. Wait. Oh. Hello?
Timeline is convoluted. The timeline is convoluted. Gil, please finish.
The point you guys are trying to make is that Brock Purdy is not a top 5 quarterback, but people are giving him that praise. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. I think he is above league average.
I think we're all agreeing. I think the crux of the thing is we're all agreeing. The outside media
how we
is
agree.
the outside media is saying either this guy is terrible or this guy is Steve Young and Joe Montana reincarnated. And neither of those are true.
No.
I think we all think he is fine. He's good. And
Did
that's
you say
where
he's
the
good?
that's all the conversation
I've
is.
ever heard you say that. Can you say that again?
I
don't think I heard
said
you correctly.
I said we think he's fine, he's good. I think he's fine. You think he's good, but it's in that same range.
That's
It's
not the
in
part
that
I'm going to
same
clip
range.
from this. That's not the part I'm going to clip. But
If you
it's
put a
not
number on it,
everything-
he's between like 8 and 14. He's like that's where he's at. On any
And,
given Sunday, those guys switch around.
I'm fine with him being definitely top 15. Or again, last pick in the draft, which is going to get old at some point, but that's just the truth. He was
It
the
already
last pick
did.
in his draft. It did.
Where you got picked in the draft
And this-
literally means nothing. It means nothing.
This is also true. Not everything, though, like Dylan is getting at. Not everything has to be black and white.
Actually, it
There
does.
is gray. Shut up.
Your cap in your first 4 years actually is extremely low and is perfect for your team building. So if you hit on that, that's
There's a gray area, and that's where Brock Purdy is. He's in that gray area. Is he the best ever? No. Far from it. Second year. Is he the worst and would suck? I mean, maybe he sucks somewhere else because maybe he doesn't get the same coaching, because that also plays a role. He gets to play with Kyle Shanahan. Matt Ryan had his best year with Kyle Shanahan. Jimmy Garoppolo looked good with Kyle Shanahan. Like, it's okay to say that your coach elevates you. But he's not
Point
the
of
worst
coaching.
ever.
it's point
Yeah.
of coaches, actually.
Everything kind of depends on where you land, where you go, and he landed in the perfect spot for him. I'm excited. I think he's going to be just fine. It should be a good game. On Sunday, when he takes on the Detroit Lions,
Good transition.
they just continue to win. What they're doing is, I love seeing this. I love seeing the videos from Detroit. I love talking to people that are Detroit Lions fans. I got to watch this game in a house full of Detroit Lions fans, and like the joy, the excitement after they won. Like, my grandfather is sitting over here, and after they won, he grabs his chest. My brother looks at him like, "You okay, dude?" So the Lions
died.
Bro, almost
That's
had
what
the
we
big
were
one.
thinking.
Bro,
That's what we
almost
were
had the
thinking.
big one.
He
That's what
almost
we were
didn't make it
thinking.
to the championship.
So the last time the Lions won a championship was 56 or 57, and that was the year my grandfather was born. So he was born the year that the
Surely
last
the
time.
Vikings have won something since then, right?
I was gonna bring that up. Does this make now the Vikings last in their division for having won a championship?
Cody
No,
Ward.
I'm pretty
if
sure
Detroit-
we did win a. I'm pretty sure we have won a championship.
No, that's
It
what I'm
just
saying.
was
If
not.
if Detroit wins on Sunday, that makes the Vikings last in the pecking order
No,
because
because
the
they haven't.
the
That
Vikings
way,
have
they
been
haven't won the Super Bowl yet.
yeah
They haven't won the Super Bowl.
neither are the Vikings. I'm like NFC Championship. It would be the Vikings. would be
Vikings have won
last.
plenty of NFC championships, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
They'd be the
So what's your point?
farthest. If the Lions win, the Vikings will be bottom of their division and having won an NFC Championship most recently. So they are as far away from the Kings of the North as possible. Really, is what I was getting at.
But great for the Lions.
I think Cam, why's your camera off?
I'm
But
doing
I
stuff.
think the Lions could be in for a rude awakening this week.
It's either
Yeah.
going to be really bad or it's going to be close. Like, there's no, it's not going to just be a 10-point.
It
It's going to be a
depends.
blowout.
Well, I think if you get
or-
the 49ers in a sunny day, I get. Is it at nighttime or is it a day game?
I think that's the night game because
Well, if you get it at a clear night game instead of a rainy game, I do not think that Lions defense will be able to do much against the 49ers in San Francisco.
Let's see.
Especially when you take a gander at the Lions' current path to where they are now.
It's going to be
Rams-
sunny and 67 on Sunday. Are they playing
The
on Sunday?
Rams, who kind of squeaked in, the Bucks, who squeaked in by winning a bad division. Yeah, the Bucks stomped on the Eagles.
And they almost won that game.
Whatever.
To be fair, the Bucks almost won that game. They had a chance.
they did.
They had some chances,
They had
but I think as much as it would be awesome and cool, and I hate the 49ers, and it would be awesome for Detroit and the Lions, I do not expect them to make it close.
On that same note, just
Unfortunately.
because, that's just kind of teeter off of that. If the Lions can keep this a track meet and just continue to score or go punch for punch, they have a chance. And I think we saw that the 49ers defense does have flaws. They looked rough at times. That's one thing that we didn't really discuss in the Packers 49ers game was that defense. Just at times, Jordan Love had his way with that 49ers defense, and they look suspect at times. And if the Lions can make that 49ers look suspect again, they have a chance. We'll see. But in this game, the second half, the fourth quarter especially, was where the Lions' defense or offense just started clicking. And another game where it was tied or essentially tied heading into halftime in the second half was where all the fireworks happened against the Bucs.
I think if the Lions drop a Brock Purdy pass that hits right off of like Brian Branch's face mask, they're losing this game. It's going to be a point where the Lions aren't going to have a lot of opportunity for mistakes or missed opportunities. Like there's not going to be a lot of wiggle room for them in this one, it feels like. And if they can capitalize, kind of like harken back to week 1 against the Chiefs, where, if they get a couple interceptions, even, a couple tipped passes or whatever, pick six, they can win this game. If not, the Avengers squad it's better than the Lions. And over the long attrition of 60 minutes, the 49ers will win. So I think it's going to come down really to the turnover battle. And if the Lions can take advantage of some of those opportunities to, like you mentioned, keep them in the game. Yeah.
I mean, one of the big differences was not just the dropped interception by the Packers, but also the interceptions thrown by the Packers in this last game. And the defense can get you 49ers, but you have to take care or you have to take advantage of any opportunity you get. Like you said, there is zero wiggle room. There is no room for error. You have to capitalize on everything.
Did Aaron Jones have a pretty good game against the 49ers? I feel like he did.
I think he did. He had
a very decent game. He has a decent game against everybody.
Yeah,
He
he
didn't
owns
have
the
a good year,
Cowboys.
Overall, his year was not good. He got to the playoffs in the end of the year, and things really started clicking for Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones didn't do jack against the Steelers. That's all I know.
I had him in fantasy. He didn't do jack. I benched him in fantasy because it was better that way.
He did really good at
Dumb.
the end of the year because all of a sudden he was ripping off like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 100-yard games in a row, and then that Dallas game where he had 3 tutties.
You're about to say something?
If the Lions can take advantage of the run game when they're on offense, keep the Avengers of the 49ers offense off the field, that's probably their best path to victory. Throw in a couple turnovers. That and a couple turnovers, you win the game.
And don't go for it on 4th down stupidly. Don't do that, Dan. Don't do it.
Yeah.
He's
Don't
been. I
get
feel like he's
mad
been
because-
smarter with his.
Has he?
He has. He
the
wasn't it in
playoffs.
the
Maybe
wild
recently,
card?
but
And
as
that's
recently
what I'm
as
saying.
the Cowboys game, he should not have gone for it 3 times. He
That's
should have
what-
sent it to overtime.
What I'm
fake
saying
punt
is
on the
since-
30-yard line and all this
Since
crazy
the
stuff.
playoffs, he's been smarter.
He hasn't
I think.
had to.
Have they had as
He hasn't-
many opportunities though?
He hasn't had
Or-
to.
They've had a
they've
few
been at home.
touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't know. Just
But yeah,
Sure.
a mistake against the 49ers like that, where you fake punt on your own 30 and you don't get it, you're cooked.
Yes.
Cannot do that. So, got to be smart.
Nope, absolutely. It's going to come down to the Young Bucks. It's going to come down to Jahmyr Gibbs, who he's been breaking it loose. It feels like as of late, he only had 74 yards, but one of those was a big touchdown run. He also had 4 catches for 40 through the air. So if he has a big game, Sam Laporta, who's been awesome, if those 2 players have good games, then this game is probably close. And then Amon-Ra, who the All-Pro, phenomenal. If the young guys in Amon-Ra are getting open, they're having a good game, chances are that this is close. That's how it was against the Bucks. This Bucks game, it came down to the wire, and even when the Lions went up 2 scores with like 6 minutes to go, the Bucks still had a chance. Baker throws a game-sealing interception, which
Baker
would like
gonna
to-
Baker, man.
unfortunately, but I think he's still earned a new contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think we're all pretty much in agreement with that. One thing I had watched earlier when it comes to Baker, apparently Bill Belichick really, really liked Baker Mayfield in 2018 and had Josh McDaniels.
He's a Baker guy.
He is. He had Josh McDaniels like within the last week prior to the draft in 2018 go hold a private workout for Baker. So if Baker does get loose, and if Bill Belichick takes the Falcons job, I could see that. And if Baker is there
Giving
with,
up on Ritter.
he's
Yeah.
definitely giving
He's
up
done?
on Ritter, dude.
Yeah. Ritter's
Yeah.
been cooked.
He's been cooked since like week 4, week 5. But if
You taking your
Belichick-
victory lap on that, Cam? Go ahead.
he should,
Do it. Turn your camera
No.
on. Give yourself one of these on the Desmond Ritter take.
No, I'm alright. I'm alright.
Do it.
I'm being
taking
alright.
the high road.
I'm alright.
High road.
I'm alright.
I think Baker could be good with the Falcons, but
Cam,
it'd
Cam,
be
are you
dumb for
laying
the
in bed
Bucs
right
to
now?
Let him go.
You sleeping?
No, I'm doing something. Go ahead, keep going. I'm paying attention. I have stuff to get done.
I don't think the Bucks. Well, actually, I was gonna say I don't know if the Bucks will be returning to the playoffs, but I don't know who else will be competing for the South title. So
Yeah, the
Falcons
Falcons, if
would
they
be-
hire Bill Belichick and
that's
Yeah.
true.
trade for Justin Fields, probably. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
Cousins.
No,
No,
stop.
they're going to get Kirk Cousins, buddy.
Quit it.
Probably.
Kids are in school. Not worth switching the school districts this late in their education. It's not worth it.
Funny.
Kirk
You'll
knows
get
it.
just as good of an education at the private school in Atlanta.
I think you need to quit it because Jordan Addison was making Kirk over wings the other day. They're bringing Kirk back. He is the
Wow.
savior. He is the one for Minnesota to win them to or lead them to a Super Bowl.
Really? Why
Keep
hasn't he done
Kirk
it already? Why hasn't he
out
done
of
it if he's the
Atlanta.
one?
because he got hurt last year.
What about the year before that? Or before that?
Mike Zimmer.
Or before that?
Mike
or before
Zimmer.
that?
Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer.
One of those years
All of
before
them.
was Kevin O'Connell.
They
Kevin
did have Kevin.
O'Connell. Yes, that was. I don't know who that was on, to be honest. It was on Kirk, but also the offensive line.
Dalvin Cook. Maybe it was Dalvin Cook that time. Maybe he
all
fumbled.
Dalvin Cook's fault. It was all Dalvin Cook's
I
fault.
don't know. Sounds like more excuses to me. Just switch teams, Cam. Just switch teams.
All right.
No, I'm not
He's
a
probably not
coward.
going to switch
I'm not a
teams.
coward.
Go be a Lions fan after they lose.
No, I could do that. But I could do it now, and then I could maybe win a Super Bowl, and then say I have a Super Bowl.
Just say
because it's that easy.
Just say
right?
you're a Lions
it's that
fan
easy.
because you're from Detroit. Because you're from Michigan.
It is actually.
I'm not from Michigan. I will not ever be from Michigan.
You are
I
from
hate-
Michigan.
I'm not.
You are.
You are.
We all are.
I
Moving
grew up
on.
in
The last game of the weekend,
almost Ohio.
Tony Romo was
Ohio
just
boy.
You grew up on the same street as me, dude. We
Mother-
live down the street on the same actual road.
We did not.
We
Wilfred?
did.
It-
Is your neighborhood off of Stearns?
Wilfred? No.
Wow, so was mine.
No, you're on Wilfred, bro. You're on Wilfred.
Yeah, okay. And what does that connect to?
So I'm saying
He's on
where's
tall
Gil?
grass. What does that connect to?
Listen, I lived in the boonies,
sunfish.
all right? I lived in the boonies. That's all I know.
Yeah, we
I didn't
didn't
have
ask where
internet.
you live, man. You were.
I didn't
out
have internet
getting
where I was.
1 kilobyte a
get
second data
Kmart.
speed.
all right.
Anyway,
Either way,
take us
Last
home, Gil.
game of the
One
weekend. Tony Romo was just enjoying himself
more.
watching
What an
this
idiot,
game.
bro. What an
Chiefs,
idiot.
Bills. Chiefs edge out the Bills
They
37-24.
what?
Mahomes.
They what? There's no way.
you can't
That's
say
your-
edge anymore.
Edge?
Can't say edge anymore. Yeah, don't
That's
say
what
that.
you're gonna use on every word in the dictionary. Edge. You never heard of edging?
Yo, tone it back.
Oh
Tone
my
it back. That's
goodness!
That's it. They narrowly
Look it
beat.
up later. Look it up later.
The power of Christ compels you all. Holy crap. Get your minds out of the gutter.
You get your mind out of the gutter.
Nah, I don't
The
Wake
think
Chiefs
up.
that's-
narrowly win 27-24. Who wants to take the lead on this one?
I'll start.
Thank you.
See you later, Bills. I called it. My bad. I
to
said
see
the
that.
Bills
Did you?
window was closed. It's closed. When the refs aren't going for you, you lose a game. Sorry to say. Yeah, Josh Allen is the Big Ben of his era without getting carried to a couple Super Bowls early in his career.
Big Ben or Phillip Rivers?
No, Justin Herbert is Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
Josh Allen is Big Ben.
What?
And Patrick Mahomes is Tom Brady. You know who Big Ben never beat in the playoffs? Tom Brady. So Josh Allen's only going to
You
win
know
a
who
Super
did
Bowl.
beat Tom Brady in the playoffs?
Mark Sanchez.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Respect on his
the
name.
only way Josh Allen's going to win a Super Bowl with the Bills is if the Chiefs lose prior to facing the Bills. That's the only way it's ever going to happen. And I don't foresee that happening right now. But let's take a step back for a second, though, because Josh Allen had a good game. He had a really good game. And Ryan Clark said it best. You know, Josh Allen went out there and he did his job like he was supposed to. However, it was not enough as the Bills did not win the game. There's an asterisk to this. You know, Stephon Diggs sold, Sherfield sold, James Cook sold, I think. And overall, you know, it's a team sport, and we judge this thing so harshly on individual performances, which is why we just picked apart Brock Purdy for 45 minutes.
I think Diggs is the only one who sold.
Sheffield also sold. He had a pass bounce off his left arm. But, yeah, this Bills team just they couldn't get over the hump. They're another year older now. Patrick Mahomes is in yet another AFC Championship game. He's never missed one as a starter in the NFL, which is just
That's
absurd.
bananas.
Bananes. Patrick Mahomes is great. We are witnessing greatness, and I feel like people obviously people glaze Patrick Mahomes, and that's fine because he is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen, and he's in the middle of the greatest quarterback run we've ever seen. Never missing an AFC championship since you've been a starting quarterback is insane. So just imagine, and this was the worst Chiefs team since Mahomes has been a starter. You could argue it's the worst one they've had, and the Bills in their own home could not beat them, which is it's tough. I mean, if you're not going to do it this year, when are you going to do it? Again, and I beg the question: with the Bills getting another year older, what do you do? And again, I don't think Josh Allen finished his career as a Buffalo Bill. I just don't think they're ever going to put it together for him to be able to do that. So before I ramble on too much, it was a good game though. Tony Romo, real quick, doesn't know ball apparently. He said he referenced the Franco Harris play as the play in which the ball got batted out of bounds for like a penalty. But that was the immaculate reception. The play where the ball got batted out of bounds was a different Raiders game. I don't know how you mess up that, but he did because Tony Romo does not study at all ever, and he just wings it. That's all I
He
gotta
also
say.
said Josh Allen was getting hit on that post that he threw into the end zone that was like 5 yards short.
Yeah, he
and
wasn't.
barely got touched. So I have a lot of issues with Tony Romo.
I mean, Chris Jones was shoving his left tackle into his face.
Yeah, but it really didn't seem like it impacted.
There are many
as much
plays.
as-
There are many plays where offensive linemen are getting shoved into quarterbacks' faces, and quarterbacks deliver a dime of a throw. I mean, if Josh Allen is supposed to be great, that's a throw to make sure you're thought of as great.
I think Brock Purdy had one of those throws this weekend.
Mahomes is the GOAT, man.
He is. He absolutely is.
We're getting closer to. There's always going to be. It's like LeBron versus Jordan. Like Jordan's got the rings, and he'll always have that. But
Mahomes
when you sit down and you watch Mahomes play a game, like it's different. It's not something you've ever seen before.
So I remember. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying, like, just to finish it off, like Dylan already mentioned it, 6 straight AFC championships. This is the first one that hasn't been in Arrowhead. That's insane. That's nuts.
And he won it anyway.
This is, a lot of people were saying, like, this is probably one of the worst Chiefs teams. I mean, their defense has been really good this year, but their offense has been miserable all year, you know? And if he's still making the championship game, like, he does have help. He has Travis Kelce and he has Andy Reid. All right. He just won a Super Bowl with Juju Smith-Schuster as the best receiver on the team.
It's true.
Like,
Bro, don't disrespect my man like that.
I am. I have to.
He deserves the disrespect, dude.
Like, I
Juju went crazy in that
times.
Game. Juju went crazy in that
I mentioned this multiple times. I used to hate the Patrick Mahomes hype. I thought it was dumb. It was out of hand. But when it keeps happening at the same level over and over and over and over again, it's like, wait a second. We might be onto something. We might be witnessing something. And it's true. It's another year of it. Unfortunately for the Bills, they are just in the way of the Patrick Mahomes legacy. And
He's playing
until
my
proven
career.
otherwise, it's not going to change.
We're all just in Patrick Mahomes' my career right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just, you know, the Bills, Josh Allen played pretty well. You know, if Stephon Diggs remembers how to catch, you know, maybe it's a different outcome. But
And if the kicker remembers how to kick.
Kicker remembers how to kick. It's just one of those things. Bro. You know, whether you think Mahomes the best or not, he keeps winning. He keeps winning games. You can't deny him that. So
how many times are we going to watch a Chiefs Bills game and then the next day social media wants to change all the rules? Like, Why does that keep happening?
I was really thinking
There
that
was a
we were
dude
going
that
I
to
was
want that
see.
rule to change anyways.
There was a dude that was going to eliminate kicking from football. He was like, "That's the stupidest idea ever." I'm like,
I've seen that a few times, and when you big picture, if you have never you're an alien and you're watching football, you're like, why is there just this random kicking portion?
it is called football.
Kind of
but-
makes sense when you look at it that way, but
It's a big part of the game.
you can't fundamentally change the game now.
Then call it
by
throw
just
ball
removing kick.
or run ball.
Listen, man,
I
the
know.
origin of
What?
football is because you used to only be able to
Ball.
run.
Should have been run ball. Anyway,
I really thought we were going to see the overtime rule
Or
used in
Fudgeball.
this game that was created because of this game.
Dodgeball.
Goated.
it felt
Goated. What I
part
really
of the
did.
script. It felt part of the script. Gil, to your point, Tyler Bass
And-
ruined the script of the playoff rule getting used.
He definitely did. The one thing I kept hearing, leading up to this game, was a bunch of people telling me, they wanted the Bills to win because they're so tired of Mahomes. Like you guys keep saying, we're watching greatness right now. And one thing I was going to mention earlier was I remember, high school and kind of junior high thinking, Aaron Rodgers was probably the most talented quarterback that we've seen, but Tom Brady was the greatest. Patrick Mahomes is meshing the two together, where he's got both the greatest talent ever, and he's about to get the greatest resume. 6 straight AFC Championship game appearances. Is it 6 or 7?
6.
6? 6 straight. 2 rings.
Let me get.
1 Super Bowl loss, so he's 2-1 in Super Bowls, and 3 appearances. There's a good chance he makes it again. We'll see. I have no idea where I lean in this Ravens game. I think the Ravens could win, but it's like Tom Brady when he gets to the playoffs.
The Ravens
You
are
never know.
probably
You
favored,
cannot-
but yeah, it's Patrick
Ravens
Mahomes
are
in an
favored.
AFC Championship game.
You can't overlook Mahomes in the playoffs. Like Brady. You could never overlook Brady in the playoffs. Once he got there, it's like, here it goes again. And there's only a few people that were really able to stop Brady. Like the Mannings, Flacco did it once,
Dak
Sanchez. Dak Prescott did do it.
Cam, you were
Nick
going to say
Foles.
something. Cam, you're going to say something there.
Yes, I was. I was gonna say, and to add to Mahomes' greatness, just to prove, I think he realizes that now is his journey to, kind of contest Brady and his career a little bit. Right now is the prime time while he still has Kelsey, a little bit younger. When you're doing it with what he has and still coming out on top on the road, like Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, and Valdez-Scantling actually made a couple crazy catches. So he did
Rice a
very
dog.
good.
Rashee Rice a dog.
So
Yeah.
to do it with who he has, and honestly, Pacheco is a gift sent from God. He is the angriest man I've ever seen, and I love watching him run the football.
We might see an
Yes,
earthquake happen
Pacheco
with
is a very good. Pacheco.
What's
Pacheco.
that?
Pacheco is a very good running back.
When him
Oh.
and one of those Ravens linebackers collide this weekend, we might see an
Roquan
earthquake.
Smith, bro. It's going to be an explosion. It's going to be when Boba Fett drops that bomb and it goes.
Oh.
That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be in the middle of the football field. There's going to be a crater left over.
Pacheco recently acknowledged that people say he runs like he bites people, and it's very funny.
The people.
He's just running through the hole.
I feel like if he changed his running style, he could probably be faster. Because I think he wastes a lot of energy just stomping.
Oh yeah,
on the
if
ground.
a track coach looked at that, they would probably vomit with how poor the
Cam.
run technique is. But
Cam, do you remember how Gabe used to run with the high knees?
Yeah.
That's how Pacheco
Yes.
runs. He runs like Gabe Karras.
Oh, you don't think Drew would remember he didn't play for the football team?
I was thinking more track because that's where you kind of see the high knees a little bit more.
That is true.
It's track. That's what you were
Did
I
saying.
was
Gabe
Gabe.
have-
overthrowing
did-
shot put and disc.
Didn't Gabe have that 75-yarder down the right-hand side of the field? That one play?
He did.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he had a large play. I think it was against Pioneer.
He had the game winner, the game
Pioneer.
version against Pioneer.
Alma mater
Pioneer
of
was
the
Gabe Carey's
Harbaughs.
game.
Alma mater of the Harbaughs.
They went to Pioneer?
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Can't make me look it up.
I think Jack might have went there. The dad.
Jim
Pioneer
Harbaugh
High
went to
School, and he
Palo
also
Alto.
went to Palo Alto and
in
Pioneer.
California. Oh, he went to Pioneer as well. I knew he's from Toledo, or born in Toledo. After that, I wasn't
So.
sure.
I wasn't just
Where's
making
Diggs
that up.
going? Where's Diggs going? He's gone. Summers also saying that Gabe Davis would have caught that ball.
Yes, he would have.
Probably.
He would have not caught a single ball all game except for that one.
That's what Gabe Davis does.
Diggs is
An
probably
Eagle.
staying in Buffalo.
Gibbs is an Eagle. Gibbs.
Gibbs?
No,
Yeah,
Diggs.
put that out there.
Get him out
It's
of there.
not happening.
Get
He's
him out of
either
Detroit.
a Bill or he's a Cowboy.
He feels like an Eagle, I'll be honest.
I don't. How does it feel like an Eagle?
That's disgusting.
The same way Julio Jones didn't feel like an Eagle.
He's not really an Eagle.
Nobody's ever. That's going
It's
to be
the
like one of
ghost
those.
It's the ghost of Julio Jones. So yeah,
Well, it's going to be the ghost of Stephon Diggs when he gets there.
in 6 years when Stephon Diggs is an Eagle, yeah, maybe, but not now.
How old is this guy?
He's
Before we
up
wrap
there.
this up, I do want to
Stephon
get you
Diggs
guys'
is
input.
30.
Yeah, he's up there.
30? Yeah, he's definitely getting there. I do want to get you guys' input on how you guys think these conference championship games are going to go.
Julio Jones is 34.
I don't know.
49ers, Ravens.
49ers,
sadly
Ravens.
boring. Boo.
Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Sadly.
That's my ideal scenario.
Yeah, because then I can say the Steelers beat the Super Bowl champs twice. That'd be nice.
You can.
That'd be nice.
That'd be sweet.
I do
It's
think it's gonna be-
the only possible scenario that works for me in this.
I do think it's going to be Ravens 49ers as well. I think these games are going to be good. Knock on wood. I think they're going to be like that 49ers Lions one. I think it's going to be closer than some might expect. I think, just the way the Lions play, they play kind of underdog mentality.
I low key. Sorry to interrupt you, Gil. I low key feel like these games are going to be not good. I think that's a lingering possibility. I give it like a 30% chance that both of these games end up in a double-digit victory by one side.
Like I said with the Lions 49ers game, it's either going to be really close or it's going to be a blowout. I could see that with the Chiefs Ravens just because of how good that Ravens defense is. I don't know if the Chiefs have played defense like that.
The line
Bills'
right
defense
now
is fine,
is
but
49ers -7, Ravens -3.5.
that's fair.
So we'll see.
We'll
It's a
definitely
huge
see.
spread for a championship game.
It
7.
is 7. Who's in the championship last? Oh, well,
Eagles, Niners.
49ers. Yeah. Well, I think that's a wrap on this episode. We got done in less than an hour and 15 minutes. So thank everybody
Record.
for. It's
Next
been a
week
long
will be
time
even
since
shorter.
we've had one that long or that short. Make sure you stay tuned to the feed. We'll see what. That was a weird way of saying that, but make sure you're checking out Party Chat Sports on Twitter or X. We'll keep you updated on everything we're posting, sharing, podcasts, YouTube videos. We've got some TikToks up as well, and also a few TikToks brewing and in the works. All that at Party Chat Sports. We'll see if we get more content up at Party Chat Sports. Go watch the previous videos that we have. The Buckeyes one where Drew turns on us. The Houston Texans one where Dylan is showing or expressing how optimistic he is about the future of the Houston Texans. And again, just make sure you follow at Party Chat Sports. I'd like to get something else out later this week. Hopefully, knock on wood, that does work out. But until next time, hope everybody enjoys these conference championship games. Remember, we have 3 more games that actually matter left of the NFL season. An AFC championship, an NFC championship, and the Super Bowl. AFC Championship, 3 o'clock Sunday. NFC Championship, 6:30 Sunday. We'll recap it next week.
Sadness.
Until then,
Season's been over.
have a good rest of your day at Party Chat Sports.
Go Blue.
Adios.
What?
That's crazy.
I'm not joining you yet. I'm not. I can't bring myself to do it yet.
It's not you. Is
Thank
not me. You is not me. I just want to put that out there. I'm impartial to this.
Mm-hmm.
You're a dick.